Strangest coincidences in history that will blow your mind. 1. The twin brothers who died the same way, on the same road, hours apart. Imagine this. Two 70-year-old twin brothers in Finland meet eerily identical fates on the same day. It was 2002, and one of the brothers was struck and killed by a truck while riding his bicycle on Route 8. In an almost impossible twist of fate, just hours later, his twin brother was also struck and killed by another truck on the exact same road, less than a mile away from where his brother had died. Police were baffled by the extraordinary odds of such a bizarre coincidence. What are the chances that two people, born together, would also meet their end in such an eerily identical way on the same day? Fate, chance, or something else? 2. The unsinkable Violet Jessup. Violet Jessup was no ordinary woman. She was a stewardess and nurse who survived not one, not two, but three of the most infamous maritime disasters in history. In 1911, she was on board the RMS Olympic when it collided with a British warship. A year later, she survived the infamous sinking of the Titanic. But her tale doesn't end there. In 1916, she was aboard the HMHS Britannic when it struck a mine and sank. Remarkably, she lived through all three catastrophes, earning the nickname, Miss Unsinkable. Her story is a testament to survival, but it also leaves us wondering, how could one person be at the heart of so many maritime disasters and still walk away unscathed? 3. The tragedy of the Titan and the Titanic. 14 years before the Titanic's tragic sinking, author Morgan Robertson published a novella called Futility, or The Wreck of the Titan. The story centered around a massive, luxurious ocean liner called the Titan that met its end after hitting an iceberg in the North Atlantic. If that sounds familiar, it should. Both ships were almost identical in size, hailed as unsinkable, and both met their fate in April. The eerie similarities don't end there. Both ships lacked enough lifeboats for all their passengers. How could Robertson have imagined such a chillingly accurate scenario years before it happened? Coincidence, or a glimpse into the future? 4. The Lincoln-Kennedy connection. The connections between the assassinations of Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy have left conspiracy theorists and historians scratching their heads for decades. The coincidences are uncanny. Both men were shot in the head on a Friday, while sitting next to their wives. Both were succeeded by vice presidents named Johnson. Both assassins, John Wilkes Booth and Lee Harvey Oswald, were killed before standing trial. It gets stranger. Lincoln's secretary, named Kennedy, warned him not to go to Ford's Theater. Kennedy's secretary, named Lincoln, warned him not to go to Dallas. And if that's not enough, Lincoln was shot in Ford's Theater, while Kennedy was shot while riding in a Ford, a Lincoln model, car. Coincidence or something more? It's one of the most mysterious parallels in American history. 5. The unluckiest man in history who won the lottery. Frane Selick, a Croatian music teacher, is widely known as the world's luckiest, or unluckiest, man. Over the course of his life, he survived a train derailment, a plane crash, a bus crash, multiple car crashes, and even being hit by a bus. Despite all this, he won the lottery in 2003, taking home around $1 million. Selick's life reads like a mix of disaster movie plots, but with an unexpected happy ending. 6. Edgar Allan Poe's prophetic novel. In 1838, Edgar Allan Poe published a novel called The Narrative of Arthur Gordon Pym of Nantucket. In the story, 4 shipwreck survivors are forced to resort to cannibalism and draw lots to decide who will be sacrificed. The character who is chosen is named Richard Parker. 46 years later, in 1884, a real-life ship called the Mignonette sank, and the survivors were forced to resort to cannibalism. The victim's name? Richard Parker. This eerie alignment between fiction and reality remains one of the most unsettling coincidences in literary history. These incredible coincidences challenge our understanding of fate, randomness, and time itself. Are they just chance alignments, or do they hint at something deeper? Whatever the answer, they remind us that sometimes, truth really is stranger than fiction.